Folks, I am here for a quick update. You know how the Kev Baker Show loves to cover the strange, the weird, the woo, as I call it. Well, I've got something absolutely mind-boggling for you today. But before we get there, right, just let me remind you that tonight on the Kev Baker Show, 2 p.m. on the West Coast, 5 p.m. on the East Coast, and 10 p.m. UK, I will be joined by one of the leading, if not the leading UFO expert out of the UK. His name's Gary Heseltine. He's an ex-policeman, and he also is the man behind UFO Truth magazine. So we're going to be getting into Capel Green, all the latest on the documentary coming out about Rendlesham, Chinese disclosure, the Pentagon files, and a whole lot more. But today I was sent an email by one of my contacts, and it literally blew me away. And it's not very often I don't know what to make of something. However, let me just take you over to Jack Posobiec. Now, Jack Posobiec, for anyone who doesn't know, is a reporter, a presenter for One American News Network. They're quite fair. They seem quite genuine as far as news organisations go. Very much leaning to the right, but this isn't about politics per se. This is really about the woo. And somebody had alerted me to the fact that Jack was posting about a very strange image that appears on one of the American military's MRE packs. Now, an MRE is a meal ready to eat. And he was referring to a package that came out in 2008. And this will literally blow your mind. So let's take a look at what Jack was tweeting about. People are realising the image on this military MRE package looks like Trump and Kanye. The package was designed over 10 years ago. Now, when I first was alerted to this, I thought, no, it can't be. It must just be a case of pareidolia, something we'll look at in a minute as well. But I'm sorry. It's hard to refute and it's hard to deny that when you look at this image here, it most certainly does look like a Donald Trump on the left. And I'm sorry, again, it looks like Kanye West. And even if somebody hadn't said this to me, if I had seen this without any prompting and had just randomly come across it, I would have seen Donald Trump and I would have seen Kanye. And of course, the two of them have become very pally during Donald's tenure in the Oval Office. A strange kind of couple of bedfellows, I admit. However, this is weird, right? Because this came out over 10 years ago. We need to go back to 2008 when this came back. And by my reckoning, although Donald Trump had voiced kind of his interest in running for the big office, the big job, long before that and never got round to it, I still find it very, very weird and inexplicable, absolutely inexplicable how this has happened. Now, if we go to meals ready to eat, and this is from the Military Times, they posted on this yesterday by J.D. Simpkins, and it says MRE package bears striking resemblance to President and Kanye, ? I just want to read a little bit of this in case it is yet to be brought to the attention of meal ready to eat aficionados. One of the MRE's newer bag designs of figures flanking a rifle stack feature one individual who bears an uncanny resemblance to the military's commander-in-chief. Now, it's not a stretch of the imagination, not some discovery of the face of the Virgin Mary in a bowl of gravy, smothered smashed potatoes, or a subliminal message burned into a flaky dough of a quesadilla. I think that's what it says. That is a presidential silhouette, if ever there was one, and an unavoidable visual connection that now can never be unseen. And you're right, because once you see this, it's hard to really get it out your mind. Because, I'm sorry, that looks very, very alike. Now, I was looking through images of when Kanye went to the Oval Office, stuff like that, and I couldn't find any that really match up to what we were seeing in the picture there. There's lots of images of the two of them together, but nothing that really you can say, wow, it was taken from that image or it represents this meeting, anything like that. Now, it gets a lot more interesting when you go back to Jack's Twitter feed here. And again, big shout out to Jack. and the contact, I don't know if they want to be named, the one that sent me this, but you start to realise, and I'm trying to find the tweet here, I think I'll need to go up for it, that in fact, in 2008, the CERN Hadron Collider first went live, and that was the 10th of September 2008. Now, on that day, a massive disruption occurred when the magnetic field inside became too large and overloaded 50 superconductors. This is known as the quench incident. The timeline has never been quite the same since. Now then, I have to agree with that. We have to start bringing into the equation here Mandela effects. Perhaps evidence that we are living within a simulation. Because there is absolutely no way I can explain how the inventors or the people that designed the MRE covers, and I'll show you this, actually, MRE package 2008. We go to the images and we can see it here. There it is there. There's one of them. Again, MRE, you can see it there. It's not been doctored in any way. And you have to question if things have been doctored in this day and age, right? Because literally, we don't know what we're looking at anymore because of CGIs and Photoshops, and you have to question everything. But this seems as genuine as you get. So how on earth's name did they come up with something that looks like President Trump and Kanye West over 10 years ago? Have you got any answer for me? Because I sure don't. And of course, the Mandela effect, it was popularised by Fiona Broome. She was the first person to start really writing about this. And the best way of really, most people think of this as the Bernstein bears. People in America, you'll remember a very popular children's book. And some people remember it Bernstein, and some people remember it the Bernstein bears. And then, of course, we had people thinking that Nelson Mandela, had died when he hadn't, and other people who remember him dying when he did die. It's almost as if our memories, our recollection, the timeline may have changed. And isn't it interesting that all of this comes after 2008, just like Jack pointed out, because there's a good chance that possibly, just possibly, CERN may have something to do with this. And I'm lost what to say here. It sounds all over the place, a bit erratic, because I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. A lot of people posting about this over on Twitter right now. It's probably going to be the next big viral thing. I find it really interesting. What does it mean? Who the hell knows? I've often spoke about the simulation theory, glitches in the matrix, stuff like that. Possibly this is something to do with it. However, there's a lot, and I've been one of the people that's covered CERN along with, the expert in CERN, Anthony Patch, and so many others who have questioned just what the effects CERN is having to our reality. Literally revising our reality, screwing things up a little. And I'm sure the person that designed this cover probably done it very, very kind of generically, didn't realise what it was they were actually, just a couple of dudes round a rifle stack, right? Right? But where did they get that thought from? Where did that spark of creation come from? I really don't know what else to say about this. I've got nothing definitive to tell you. It's weird, it's woo, it's straight out of the Twighlight Zone. Does it come from another dimension? Are we on another timeline now where these two did meet in 2008? Let me know in the comments below, because this one, it's a head scratcher, folks. It really, really is. When it comes to woo, this is top notch, and I'll probably get accused of making a 666 signal there. People will see what they want. However, remember, join me tonight over on tfrlive.com, because I'll be joined, like I said, by Gary Heseltine. That's 10 p.m. in the UK, 2 p.m. on the West Coast. Catch you all later.